My name is Mykell, and I'm playing the role of Derek in Land of Smiles. I think Derek is, he's a very rough around the edges, take no shit kind of guy. I think you're not really sure, you know, where he is morally, so to speak. Like, he's kind of in a moral gray area. He likes to do what he likes to do, and he doesn't really care what people think about it. I think that he enjoys his life. I think he doesn't get a whole lot of sleep. I think he's a teacher. I think that he enjoys, teaching people things that he knows very well. As he brings Keith along in the story, he's showing him the ropes in the underbelly of Thailand's sex trade world, and so I think that shows that he's a mentor of sorts, and he enjoys that. I think that he has a lot of experience under his belt, and he's not afraid to, flaunt that experience. He's very, as it pertains to the world that they are in, he's kind of callous to it, numb to it maybe, like nothing is a big deal to him. And I think that he's kind of an anti-hero. I would categorize him as that, definitely. Well, I think that Derek and I share similarities. For one, I think that we both love to mentor and love to teach. Like, if I know something well, I would always want to share it with others in hopes that they would, learn it too, I guess. And I think we are similar in that regard. I think that we love to enjoy life. I think we are both students of humanity, or students of the human nature. I think where we differ is what we do with the knowledge that we accumulate. I like to think that I'm more polished than Derek in real life, but I guess that's up to the people who know me to determine. But yeah, we have similarities and we have differences. As I watched Justin write and rewrite and revise the script, I watched as he put a lot of time and effort and energy into it, and I knew that it was going to be good. Before I read one line, I knew it was going to be good just for the sheer amount of time and energy he put into it. And I think that he and I both share a similar passion for the people of Thailand, which, definitely got me excited about the opportunity to be a part of something like this. Dealing with a real subject matter in a very, very real way. Like, I don't think that Justin withheld the grit and the reality of, the brothels of Thailand at all. Like, he didn't, withhold that from the audience, and I think that it allows for us to take a very real situation and make art out of it, to get the brevity of it brought to light. I think is very special. It's very unique, especially for a short film. I think that the cast and crew are incredible. In addition to being Derek, I also was the casting director, so I had a pretty heavy hand in selecting the cast. So maybe I'm biased in saying that they're really good, like they're incredible actors. They embody these roles almost seamlessly, and the believability of each one of them blows my mind. Like Kimiko brings such a sweet, innocent sadness to the role of Lamai, and Jacob is Keith in that he has such strength and weakness, and it's almost surprising. And Bjorn as Pawn is so believable. Like even though Bjorn is the exact opposite of Pawn, he somehow turns it on, and you know the madam and the other girls, they it, they bring the reality of this situation to a whole nother level. And the crew is so hardworking, and they believe in the project to the extent that they're willing to, you know, give of their energy and time. So much. I've been really impressed, you know, to be able to work with such hardworking people. I've known Justin, the director, for a number of years, and kind of seen him grow as a person. But this was the first time that I actually got to see him be director Justin, and that was really cool to see. Like to see him take such leadership over the cast and the crew, but in his own Justin way. Like it wasn't like he was yelling and screaming and cussing everybody out, but he was chill like he is, and very understanding and patient with the people that were working with him, and that made everyone comfortable around him, and which allowed for people to give their 100%, you know, in front of the camera and behind the camera. I think everyone just wanted to do well for him. You get on sets a lot of times and the directors are assholes, not because that's their nature necessarily, but because of the stress of the job. But I think that Justin was very good about compartmentalizing those stresses so that they didn't bleed into his interactions with his cast and his crew, which, like I said, allowed for us to feel at home in our roles and at home on the set. And, you know, I think that you're going to see that shine through in the film. Like, as a black man, there aren't very many black actors that we can look to and see them play roles that aren't supposed to just be the black guy, and that's inspiring, honestly, to see men like Will Smith and Denzel Washington play roles that could be any race of person and not just be typecast as the black guy, or you know, or something like that. And I that's why I'm excited about playing this role of Derek, because I believe that he's one of those kinds of characters that could be black, white, or Asian, or Hispanic. Like, he could be any race, and so I can play, you know, so I can play that role, and you know, bring my personality into the role, as opposed to being told that I have to be the typical black guy as Derek. I think that somewhere deep down I've always wanted to be an actor. You know, music, I love music. Music is my first love, and I will always have my hands in music. But even with being a performer and a recording artist, I'm playing a character. And so I think that I've always been an actor. I've always wanted to be an actor. Even like a lot of actors, you know, being a kid and putting on little stupid productions for your family in the living room. I did all of that. I've always loved cameras and the attention that they pretend to give you. So I think that what solidified it for me, though, well, I did this web series called New Stage a few years ago, and That was my first time like acting on camera, and I remember looking at the footage and going, "Oh, I need to take acting classes if I'm going to continue doing this," because I felt like my role was like my portrayal of my character was awful, even though it wasn't a far stretch from who I was, but I was just thinking too much about it, and so I started taking acting classes, and as I took those acting classes, I realized more and more that this is what I wanted to do. That I wanted to be able to lose myself in other characters and make people believe the story that was being told.